After 20 years of rumors, whispers, and waiting, as you can tell from the thumbnail of this video, I'm pretty excited to talk about this. Which brings me to the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Fuck Yeah! There's no sponsorship for this video, just the unbridled excitement of the fact that I get to talk about this movie I've heard rumors and whispers about since about halfway through the Bush years. Been a long time coming, so let's talk about it. So Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair is Quentin Tarantino's true cut of his fourth film, Kill Bill, which makes me kind of conflicted as to how I want to review this. Do I review it as I'm reviewing Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 for the first time, which I've never done on my channel? Do I talk about the differences between the two? Anyhow, I'm gonna do as I always do. Word vomit in hopes that the final product that is this video makes some form of sense after a fair amount of editing. But what I do know is this is actually going to be spoiler free because there's a certain thing in here that hits so differently if you haven't seen Kill Bill at all. I'll tell you about it in a vague sense later. So yeah, spoiler free for the final edit of a film that's 20 years old. So Kill Bill follows the story of the bride, played by Uma Thurman. She was the deadliest assassin in the world, which Tarantino, he just excels at that kind of thing. Most movies would be like, our assassin slash former assassin's really good, but we're not gonna say the best in the world. That's pretty hyperbolic, if not a little cheesy. But the way Tarantino plays up that which should and would be cheesy as stylistic, he's just a master of that craft. So yeah, she's the deadliest assassin in the world. She was part of a group of assassins led by Bill, played by the late great David Carradine himself. She's gonna get married, she's gonna start her new life, and the assassins just go into the chapel, kill everybody, including her, so they thought. 4 years later, she wakes up from her coma and she's on a revenge quest. A quest to take out all the assassins, all her former colleagues leading up to Bill himself. Now, why the whole bloody affair exists is because Kill Bill ran into a couple of roadblocks. Studio was like, that movie is far too long, you need to cut it down. Tarantino said, well, I don't want to cut it down, so I'll divide it into 2 movies. Great, however, next roadblock was you gotta cut back the violence because there's no way this is gonna be rated R. This is an NC-17 film for violence alone, which is why in the throwdown with the crazy 88s, the movie turns to black and white in Kill Bill Volume 1. That's how you maintain the carnage, but bust it down to an R rating. Have it in black and white, no red. Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair is Quentin Tarantino's restoration of his original vision for Kill Bill. Both films stitched together to be one film, though there is still an intermission where part 1 would end, though the dialogue at the end of what would be part 1 is actually different. And the fight with the crazy 88s, no longer in black and white. There is so much blood, so much red splattering all over the screen in that scene. Practically taste the metal in the movie theater. I see on the poster there is a 70mm version. That sounds amazing, but that's just not the version I saw. What I've always liked about Kill Bill is it really gets going. The intro before the opening titles primes you to be like, how did we get here? And then boom, fight between Vivica A. Fox and Uma Thurman. Not only is that fight amazing, but it also shows the audience the moral guardrails of the bride. When the kid gets home from school and they're both like, all right, we're not gonna fight in front of the kid. You can get behind someone on a revenge quest who has that mindset when it comes to, hey, let's shelter the kid from this. I mean, as best she can anyway. One of the first changes I noticed in this movie is the anime sequence. I mean, the anime sequence is still here. It's always been in Kill Bill. The anime sequence from Kazuto Nakazawa showing the backstory of O-Ren. But in The Whole Bloody Affair, there is another chapter of that anime sequence. And the thing I really appreciated about it is how it expands the lore of O-Ren Ishii. That added layer of her revenge quest more fully shows how she's not unlike the bride. She's like the opposite bride. The negative bride, the other side of the coin of the bride. She was on a revenge quest to kill the people who killed the people she loved. But then over time, she had become the very thing she swore to destroy. And there's something tragic about that whole thing. Maybe it's because I hadn't seen Kill Bill in a bit. I'm just older now, I see things differently. Or it's the fact that The Whole Bloody Affair presents it as one film, unbroken. But the misery and the tragedy of the assassins she's going after just shine through a bit more for me in this watch. I always found it funny. This is true in any version of Kill Bill you've ever seen. At least for me, it hit me this way. Having an anime sequence in a live action film can be a little jarring. It's not half as jarring as when you go from the anime sequence back to live action. When it goes back to her in the truck and she's like, wiggle your big toe. I'm always like, wow, that's 100 times more jarring than going to anime in the first place. A thing that caught me off guard here is I always found Kill Bill Volume 1 to have better momentum. But laid out as one film, The second half of Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, I felt went faster than the first half. Gotta admit, that build up to the fight with the crazy 88s is legendary. It's the music, the swell, the journey to getting to that point. It's the climax of climaxes. Nothing in Volume 2 is that exciting. Though in The Whole Bloody Affair, I did feel that contrast. The fact that we went from this fight with the crazy 88s to Bud might have taken her down. And you understand the disdain that Elle has at the concept. I keep talking about how, oh, these things I noticed because it's all one film, when in reality, who watches Kill Bill Volume 1 and then goes, okay, I saw the movie? Now, the last time I watched Kill Bill Volume 1 alone by itself was before Volume 2 was even out yet. And admittedly, my friends and I watched Volume 1 in theaters to an unhealthy degree, or arguably the healthiest degree. Point is, we watched it a lot. But since Volume 2 came out, it's Kill Bill Volume 1, then you go into 2. They're both one movie. How is this different? I can't explain it, but it is. Maybe it's the little subconscious signals your brain's getting. When you take Volume 1 out, put it back in its Volume 1 case, take Volume 2, put it in, feels like a different movie. You have an Uma Thurman monologue at the beginning of Volume 2, a new title for Volume 2, both of which are not in The Whole Bloody Affair. But Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2 always felt different than, say, Lord of the Rings, the extended editions, which also has 2 discs for one movie, but with Lord of the Rings, it always felt like, yeah, it's just the second half of the movie I was just watching. Kill Bill always distinctly felt like Volume 1 and Volume 2. They're both one movie in concept, theme, and as Quentin Tarantino counts it, and I've always counted it this way as well. But in execution, Volume 2 just felt like a separate thing from Volume 1. With Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, it is distinctly, decidedly, and feels as such, one film. It's a long one. I won't say it's not. My showing was at noon. I got out of the movie, the sun was down. It was gone. It was dark outside. I mean, it's about winter now. It doesn't mean much. Point is, it's 4 hours. We'll call it 4.5 because every movie has a half an hour of trailers on them at this point. But I gotta say, 4-hour long viewing, whatever, I was never bored in this. I might have blood clots now for as long as I was sitting in the movie theater watching Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, but I will never call it boring. It's absolutely engaging and exciting. I've seen 2-hour movies feel longer than this 4-hour movie. I do feel like the crazy 88 fight is also longer. I might be seeing something that's not there, but at first she's fighting people, there's no music, and then the music kicks on. I felt like it took longer for the music to kick on. In fact, there's this one scene where this one guy's just kind of standing there afraid, and she grabs him and throws him into someone else, or a crowd of people. Point is, I don't recall that in Kill Bill Volume 1, so I'm pretty sure the crazy 88 fight's actually longer this time around. And I think it's the same dude who was cowering there, and she cut his sword and spanks him and says, "Go home to your mother," at the end of the fight. I mean, it was all happening pretty quickly, so I don't know for sure, but I mean, he seemed to have that same timid energy to him. Longer and not in black and white, so longer and bloodier. Win-win. Because the choreography in this movie is amazing. I mean, this film is an absolute love letter to martial arts cinema. It's a few love letters, actually. Martial arts cinema, spaghetti westerns, anime. But Kill Bill's a love letter that doesn't lose me, because that can happen. Whenever you have a director being like, I want to give a love letter, it's like, is it going to come across as super indulgent? Because if I'm not in on the joke, I'm just going to be an outsider being like, yeah, that's his personal private joke. I'm just the one paying the money who wasn't there for it. With Kill Bill, I always got it. I felt like I was in on the joke. It always jived with me. It doesn't hurt that love letter aside. It's one of the quintessential cinematic revenge tales of all time. Now, this is where the spoiler-free thing really comes in, because what's different is a small change, yet a really big one. If you have seen Kill Bill Volume 1, you'll know what I'm talking about without me actually saying what the line is. But you remember the last line of Kill Bill Volume 1. It's a reveal. It's the hook. It's the Mr. War Fire moment to bring all the moviegoers who saw Volume 1 back for Volume 2. That hook was a reveal, but it was a reveal that was revealed by talking about it, by saying the thing. The end dialogue in Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair before the intermission, which would be the end of Kill Bill Volume 1, is different. It's not the reveal of a thing. That is to say, in Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, the audience doesn't know about that reveal until she knows about that reveal. until she sees it firsthand at the end of the movie. I cannot stress how much more impactful that is. In fact, I envy people who have never seen Kill Bill at all, the fact that you get to experience that. It was really impactful and emotional for me, and I know the whole story of Kill Bill. You not knowing at all, you getting that reveal at the same time the bride does, I can't actually imagine. If you haven't seen Kill Bill, bless you. Please see the whole bloody affair. That alone will be worth it. That and the crazy 88 fight, who are we kidding? And also the surprisingly emotional revenge quest at hand. In the end, yeah, Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, it was everything I wanted. And more. It takes a solid 1-2 punch that was and turns it into one big giant lights out haymaker. The characters are memorable, the tension's palpable, the action's intense, the music is on point. It's not just a love letter, it's a love letter that's also damn good cinema. You'll laugh, you'll get emotional, you'll cheer, and everything in between. Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair was one of my favorite cinematic experiences in an age. Kill Bill always was, but ever more so is. Awesome-tacular. A thing that bummed me out is this movie doesn't have the old Klingon proverb that revenge is a dish best served cold. There is a dedication to director Kinji Fukasaku instead, which I understand. I guess he felt he had to pick one. I say, is it too much to ask for both? I'm just saying I appreciate the Kinji Fukasaku dedication, but I also appreciate me a good Trek nod. And that was a solid Trek nod. I felt the loss on it. I missed it. All right, so Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite Tarantino film? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.